The Seminoles hoping to get Phil Kofer back today. He's not starting, but we could see him play. He's missed the last 2 games, and the opening tip controlled by Florida State. Trent Forrest controls, junior out of Chipley, Florida. Out of P.J. Savoy, a 3-point specialist. Inside to Kumaji, who was 0 for 6 from the field in the first meeting. In ACC games, almost 19 per game.
You know, Nish, the shocker for me early in this is the fact that Miami is coming out playing man-to-man.
Who has battled a heel injury. He's been better the last 2 games. Entry pass, Kumaji off the window. Corey, I told you before the game.
Develop into very good basketball players. And now you see going into the middle of the zone, Kumaji having his opportunities once again. There's just nothing you can do about that if you're Zundu.
He knows he's the lone big. If he's out of the game, Florida State can feast inside.
Now, interesting to see who gets the bucket. Zundu gets the bucket, but I believe that basketball was going in off of Zach Johnson's pass.
Wow, this is a great sign for Florida State. P.J. Savoy. Izundu strong to the tin.
Very active in the pick and roll. That's the second opportunity he's gotten at the basket. But you see Florida State going right back into Kumaji.
Man, down the lane, blocked by Izundu. He was running practices and wanted to get to a midweek church session as Lawrence gets the basket and fouls.
But Cabangeli came to Florida State and actually redshirted his freshman year because he was his only other offer, I believe, was Binghamton.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't ready to play at this level.
Averaging 6.5 fouls over 40 minutes, so technically he would not get to 40 minutes.
Nothing wrong with that. I think the NCAA should change it to 6 fouls anyway, especially when you got the freedom of movement rules. But right now,
Fiondu Cabangeli, Mr. Clean on the boards. Phil Kofer in there for Florida State. Missed the last 2 games with a foot injury. Zach Johnson, the strong take. Kofer missed the first 9 games with a right foot injury. It was the left foot that was barking. His man hits from the outside.
And hold up the 3 because they've been trying to get him to be more aggressive from beyond the 3-point arc to win. And I think that's going to be the biggest kicker, especially with Trey Jones back. They become a better defensive team and allow themselves to get out in transition.
Nice move by Raekwon
Gray attacking the basket, and Anthony Mack, you know, just not giving much resistance. You see how far Florida State's defense is extending Miami's offense and just making everything more difficult for the Hurricanes. But now M.J. Walker, fresh legs.
Wardenberg past Kumaji.
And again, another aggressive move by Sam Wardenberg, and that has to be an encouraging sign for Jim Larinaga and his bunch.
Savoy contested 3 high off the glass.
That was a high level of difficulty on that shot as well. I love P.J. Savoy's ability to shoot the 3. And it's an encouraging sign for Wardenberg, but maybe not the greatest sign for Jim Larinaga.
Great position down low. Cabangeli, the basket and the foul.
It only helps to get points on the board, especially in the half-court offense.
Shot fake, Wardenberg to the rim. Playing with the 2 fouls, the Kiwi gets up there.
Sports Center tonight after this move, the pump fake, and then going to the rim, P.J. Savoy on the wrong side of the poster is Sam Wardenberg. Aggressively attacks the basket with the 2-hand finish. A little Tom Chambers-like. 6 guys available to the Canes.
Likes turns it over, man. Ahead to Forrest. He was guarded by Kofer, who was coming off an injury.
And this Miami stays in the man-to-man. Ooh, that's beautiful by M.J. Walker.
To try to keep their big guys out of foul trouble.
In which they have to, especially for a guy like Cabangeli that's playing as well as he has. And talking about playing well.
Likes against Kofer coming off the injury. And he is engulfed at the rim. It's a shot clock violation. Mack turns it over. Forrest, Kofer. Man, it's a 12-0 run for Florida State.
Miami's leading scorer, not really able to help them much, but a lot of that also has to do with the size and length of Florida State.
Well, everybody's hitting 3s. Florida State 7 of 10. Cabangeli, just his 6th 3 of the season. got some time off after this game. They don't play again until next weekend against Georgia Tech.
And Florida State has some guys they need to get healthy. He's averaging 22 points per game, third in the ACC and ACC play scoring.
Johnson over Cabangeli with the shot clock winding down. 10 to shoot. Forrest. Inside to Cabangeli for the finish.
He's got a great wingspan, of course. It makes those dunks a lot easier, but he's pretty bouncy around the rim.
Johnson to the tin. Initially did not have Cabangeli on their radar. That has changed.
Well, and honestly, if scouts didn't have him on the radar, they're wrong in the first place because of the way that he's operating as he gets another dunk, however you want it. And if you look at his efficiency, the way that he's playing, and the numbers he's putting up in the short minutes, you've got to like this guy at the next level.
Vasiljevic falling away.
Best players in the league a year from now.
And he's turning into it this year. Kofor. And the three is good. Florida State.
Talk to people about when Villanova won their first national championship in 2016. They were destroyed by Oklahoma over in Hawaii. It's on Terrence Mann right there. If I'm MJ, I'm saying, you know what? You don't get any more. That's it.
Wardenberg hits the three. No look pass from Likes. Walker over to Mann. 5 to shoot. Shot clock at 2. And Mann beats the shot clock.
He has to do for the team. We've seen him knock down a couple threes, but also be, energetic on the glass. And of course, on cue, Terrence Mann with the putback slam. Though they're not playing hard, but they right now recognize that their lack of depth doesn't give them much opportunity to win. They have to play perfect, and they've not been able to do that. Now you start to see that Florida State team that everyone was expecting all season long to return.
The three is good from Walker. It's Raekwon Gray. Anthony Polite now, freshman out of Switzerland, and he gets the teardrop. After the Duke loss before a Monday night game against Pittsburgh, that coaching in the ACC is about X's and O's to a certain degree as Lawrence lays one off the window.
All they had to do was defend the basketball on an underneath out-of-bounds play. A mistake cost them the game versus the #1 team in the country. Tar Heels are thinking to get some retribution for what the Cards did to North Carolina on their home court a couple weeks ago.
Walker, his 6th three. That's a career high.
Have someone behind you that can come in because the goal is to win the game, not necessarily for you to get your numbers.
Johnson to the rim.
We're looking at that situation.
Chris Likes, only 1 point tonight, finds Johnson. And that rattles in.
It's the Seminoles as much as, it would other teams, but still it's one less guy you have able to participate.
Numbers for Miami and Johnson.
Before part of Lethal Weapon 3 back in 1990.
Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver. Walker, foot on the line, and he hits again.
Shooting percentage goes down. It's a bad shot to take that shot from 75 feet.
Florida State turns it over. You were the kid in math class
Remember
where
now.
your work was wrong, but you got the answer right, so you justified it?
Remember now.
MJ Walker's got 22, 2 off a career high. Lawrence, Florida State will give him that. 11-point game, 58 seconds to go. Nichols ahead to Forrest. And he lays it in for the basket. Izundu has fouled out. And Forrest to the line to complete a 3-point play, but first he's got to get up. Vasiljevic to push. Vasiljevic on the follow, 14 seconds to go. Tonight, a season high in three-pointers made, a dozen. They shot 60% from beyond the arc, also a season high, and shot a season high 56% from the field.